Hi, I'm Andy from the Aurasma team. In this tutorial video, I'll take you through the steps for making content using the Aurasma Studio. The Aurasma Studio is the free online tool where partners are able to make content, known as auras, apply for skinned versions of the Aurasma app in their own unique branding or colours, or to get the Aurasma code to put into an existing app. If you like what you see in this video but you aren't yet a partner, simply head to our website today and fill out an application. First of all, let's take a look at what assets you require to make auras. Trigger images are what users look at to activate content. These are typically PNG or JPEG. They need to be less than 500,000 pixels in size, and they also contain lots of tonal variation or distinction that makes them good for tracking and use with Aurasma. If your image is too large, say for example a photo you've taken from an iPhone camera, you can use tools such as Microsoft Office Picture Manager to resize to an appropriate size. Here I use Edit Pictures, Resize, and then I make the shortest edge 480 pixels in size. What that will do is ensure that your image file is always under the maximum limit of 500,000 pixels. Secondly, you have overlays. This is what appears on top of a trigger image, and here you are not limited to just one thing. The most typical type of overlay would be a video file. For this, we recommend MP4 as the optimal format, while all overlay videos have to be less than 100 megabytes in size and have a standard H.264 codec. If your video contains alpha, it will then have to be an FLV instead. Overlays can also take the form of images or buttons, for which we recommend either PNGs or JPEGs. Thirdly, it's also possible to have overlays that are 3D models. For this, you upload a tar file to the Aurasma Studio that contains 4 things: the export of your 3D model, textures, sounds, and also a thumbnail which appears next to your 3D model in the Aurasma Studio. Once you have all of these elements, it is their coming together that is known as the aura. So a trigger image that activates itself into a video, 3D model, or an image, and then a succession of actions or click-throughs that you can enact to take users through to more content. Now let's take a look at how you put these assets together to make auras using the Aurasma Studio. First of all, you need to log in. For this, type in the URL, which is studio.aurasma.com. Once on the site, you need to log in. You would have received login details for the Aurasma Studio upon making your application. If for any reason you've forgotten your login details, simply drop us an email to support@aurasma.com and we'll send you a reminder. Once inside the studio, select Trigger Images from the right-hand side menu. Here you can select Add, and then you can browse on your desktop for the image or images that you wish to upload. Don't forget to give your trigger image a name. Most trigger images are not for location-based purposes. However, if you wanted to make a trigger image that works in a specific geographical location, you can use the View Map tool to enter coordinates. To optimize trigger images, you can apply masking. What masking does is block out parts of the image that are less good for tracking with Aurasma, such as text, repeated features, patterns, or single blocks of colours. In this example here, the left-hand side is what tracks well, whereas the right-hand side has repeated features. So what I do is I use the square box to highlight over the areas that I do not wish Aurasma to look at, and then press Save. Next, I can select the Overlays button. Here, as before, you press Add, and then select a video from your desktop. Give your video a name, and then you can press Save. If you use Google Chrome as your web browser for doing this, the advantage is that you get a percentage upload in the bottom left hand of the screen. This will just show you how much progress your video is taking, as it is uploading itself to the Aurasma Studio. It is the same process for uploading images and 3D models. The next thing that you can create is a channel. A channel is where you place your auras and is something that users can then subscribe to unlock your content. To create a channel, select the channels icon on the right hand side and then select Add. Here we'll take the example of Tottenham Hotspur and call our channel Spurs Goals. One thing you can do is add a description. This appears on the app and is what tells users what to expect from the content that you have created. You then have 2 options. First is to do with privacy. You can set your channel to either be publicly searchable through the search menu of the app, or you can keep it private whilst it's still for internal testing, or something you wish to share via share link to a set number of people. Secondly, there is the type. Typically, most auras created are normal auras. However, there is the possibility to create location auras, auras that only occur in a specific geographical place. For more on that, please check out our separate tutorial video on the subject. Finally, attach an image to your channel and then select Save. Once you've created your channel, you're ready to start adding auras to that channel. To do so, with your channel open, select the Auras tab. Once selected, you can then press the Add button, which will bring up the Aura Creation menu screen. The first thing to do is to select a trigger image. If you have more than, say, 20 pieces of content uploaded to the system, if you type in the first few letters of your trigger image, that will help to quicker locate it. Next, give your aura a name. If the aura is coming from a brochure or a magazine or somewhere where a page reference may help the user, it's always a good idea to include this in the name of the aura as that appears on the app. Next, use the drag down tool to select an overlay. As default, overlays are shaped to the size of the trigger image. However, if I use right click and select Restore Aspect Ratio, what this does is put the video back into its original shape. It is the same process for uploading images and 3D models. If I click and hold with Shift, what I can do is make the video size larger or smaller. While if I click and drag, what this does is move the video around in terms of how it's placed within the trigger image. As action, this video is set to go to full screen when double tapped. If I now select Add Overlay, what I can do is then add a second overlay to this aura. Here I will select a PNG button, the YouTube icon. To bring it to the front, I use the Move Up tool, and then as before I use Restore Aspect Ratio, and then I click and drag it into the position in which I wish it to appear as part of the aura. Finally, in terms of actions, I select when an overlay is single tapped, go to a web page, and then I enter in the web page to which I wish to go through to. Always be sure here to make sure that http:// is included. Once I'm happy, I press Save. Now I've created my aura, I'm ready to share this to myself. To do so, there are a couple of options. The first way to share content is if you select the channels icon and bring up your channel. You'll then see when you click Edit that there is the option to click on a link to subscribe. And what the link to subscribe is something that when activated on a mobile device with Aurasma installed, will automatically open up the app and join you to the channel. Okay, so we're now ready to view the content. What I've done is I've emailed myself the link. And if I click on this link, it opens up Aurasma, and it will subscribe me to the channel to which the content is contained. This first white bubble appears to say that the content is nearly ready, and then a second white bubble will confirm when your content is ready to be viewed. So if I now take my matchday program, and I turn to the page in question, I can look at the image, and then the aura plays. While the aura is playing, if I tap 2 times, it can go to full screen, which then means I can move away from the trigger image. And then if I want to go through to the YouTube channel to see some more content, a single click will take me there. From the YouTube channel, if I press X, that will return me back to the main Aurasma view. The other way that I could have shared this content would have been to go to the menu screen of the app, and then go to the search menu, from where I can type in the name of the channel, and then I'll be able to subscribe. And in fact, if I go to the channel here, you can see the Spurs Girls channel with the one aura we just viewed inside it. If I wanted to share that to my friends, clicking on this link here as share, I could then share via email, by SMS, Twitter, or Facebook.